Well, here's something we didn't think we'd ever say. Darren Raddysh appears to be the number one defenseman for the Tampa Bay Lightning for now. How confident are you in him in that role moving forward? It's a debate we'll have on today's Locked On Lightning.
You're Locked On Lightning, your daily podcast on the Tampa Bay Lightning. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Thank you for making Locked On Lightning your first listen of the day. Every single day, we are your free daily Tampa Bay Lightning podcast, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, now the number one sports podcast network. As always, we're going to begin by giving a shout out to our everydayers. Those of you who tune in every single show, every single day, we love you. We appreciate the support you give us week in and week out. I'm Nick Morgan, and I'm joined by the Eric Clapton to my Jimmy Page, Greg Steven. Greg, welcome in, my friend.
Good morning. Darren Raddysh. How about him, huh?
Darren Raddysh. Who would have thought?
I'm going to say neither of us.
Nope. In fact, I think you and I both predicted he might be off the team on waivers at some point this season. And look at him now. What a story. Darren Raddysh, one of the guys who have stepped up the most this season in the turmoil of injuries for the Tampa Bay Lightning. He appears to be the number one D-man for now. How confident are we in his status as the number one defenseman moving forward this season for the Lightning? Because it seems like he might have that title for a while. Plus, Lightning snapped their losing streak against the Montreal Canadiens on Tuesday. Tonight, they're going to try to start a win streak against the New Jersey Devils, who, speaking of injuries, boy, the hits keep on coming for them, don't they? We'll have keys to the game, plus some predictions. We'll try not to jinx it. We probably will jinx it. We always jinx it. Coming up a little bit later on today's show. A lot to get to before we dive in. Do want to mention today's episode brought to you by FanDuel. If you want to be right in the middle of the action this season, visit FanDuel.com and place your live bets all season long on everything from NFL to NHL. All right, Greg. Darren Raddysh.
Yeah.
1D for the Tampa Bay Lightning. Hell seems to have frozen over, my friend.
Yeah.
And to amplify that, Darren Raddysh 1D playing incredibly well as the 1D. Here's another little twist to the hell freezing over.
Yeah. Definitely not on my bingo card. Let me say that. And we talked about him not even being on the team, like you mentioned earlier.
Yeah.
And then he was scratched a few times.
He was healthy scratched a number of games this season.
Yeah, I think it was between like games 6 and 10 around in there.
Yeah, I think he was hurt, came back scratched.
Yeah,
a little bit of a tumultuous season, but God, what a weird twist it's been. And it looks like his role is going to be expanded for a little bit longer. John Cooper announcing today Victor Hedman is going back on the IR with a new injury he picked up over the weekend's action. Obviously did not come back and play the last period against Montreal. A little bit different. Obviously, you still don't have Ryan McDonagh in the lineup. Eric Chernak is out. So, Greg, this is going to be more responsibility on Darren Raddysh moving forward to pick up the slack, something he's done very well so far this year. It feels like there's two parts to this conversation. One is just giving Darren Raddysh a pat on the back because he's been incredible. I think like last month kind of had like who was our early season picks for MVPs for the Tampa Bay Lightning. I think Darren Raddysh is somebody who's kind of crept into that conversation. And the other half of this conversation, which let's dive into this part first, is just A, how long does this magic last for him? And B, how confident are you that if the Lightning need him to keep playing at this level as a 1D, that it's going to keep resulting in wins for Tampa?
Yeah, it's a wonderful question because he's hot right now. So I do expect there to be some kind of cooling period. And that doesn't mean he's going to play poorly. It just means maybe not logging this many points. I mean, he has 20 points now in 24 games.
Yeah.
He's better than some of the forwards that are on this team.
Yeah. Can I throw some stats at you?
Yeah, of course you can.
So from in the past 14 games, which is when his ice time really started to pick up, I think he was averaging around 11 to 12 minutes before some of these injuries started hitting. And I think 14 games ago was the McDonough injury. So in that span, 14 games played, or average about 24 and a half minutes a game. He has 17 points in those 14 games, 4 goals, 13 assists, and a +7. Greg, I mean, these are, stats you would expect to see from Victor Hedman.
Yeah, 100%. I was going to say 20 points in 24 games is crazy, especially because you look at the forwards and Cirelli doesn't have 20 points. Point has 13 points. Like he's outperforming some of those guys.
Yeah, absolutely.
Crazy. Go ahead.
And to jump in real quick, it's maybe less awe-inspiring. His offensive numbers, they're great, but we also knew this about Darren Raddysh, coming into the game coming into the season as well, as offense was his game, maybe a little bit too much of his game. He didn't have that two-way game.
Yeah, no, you're absolutely right. And now he's +3, because I think when we were kind of ragging on him, I'll say he was like -8, -7, somewhere in there. And to turn his defensive game entirely around and gain like basically +10 from that conversation onward is pretty remarkable. And it's exactly what they needed. I mean, a lot of the defensemen on this team were kind of lacking in playing defense. I mean, even guys like Dastu, like he's stepped up a bunch too, but just not comparable still. Like Raddysh has outshined everyone on the defensive roster in my mind. Outside of maybe JJ Moser defensively, I think is maybe the only other guy who is actually defensive minded like that. But yeah, Raddysh he's looking like the number one guy right now, and I assume he will remain that way. And as far as how long I expect it to stay that way, I almost want it to stay that way until the end of the year, but I
ride the wave.
I don't know how long it will last, but I mean, ideally he actually has just learned a bunch from his game and this tumultuous season and will remain the player he is right now.
Which is a great story, but it's also kind of part of that reason for skepticism, because it's not like he's like a prize prospect who's just now hitting his stride, and you look at him and say like, okay, like he's going to be on the up and up. He's developing into this piece to use for things to come. He's 29 years old.
I was just going to say that.
And look, like this is awesome what he's been doing. I mean, he played like 28 minutes against Pittsburgh the other night. He's played like 25 minutes a couple times. Like he's a minute muncher, but it's also so out of nowhere that you're like, what's going on here?
Yeah, like how did this happen?
And I think that's fair to ask. I mean, he is on pace to shatter his point scoring total.
Yeah, he is.
But I mean, there is sort of that caveat where, look, John Cooper didn't use him in anything but offensive situations last year for a reason. I think he had like 24% of his starts were in the defensive zone or like on the Lightning side of the red line.
Right.
So there is that little skepticism of where is this coming from? Is this just a hot streak, or has Darren Raddysh really figured things out? But whatever, Greg, it's just fun to see.
Yeah, I was going to say, who cares as long as it's working? But like you said, like his numbers this season are already way better than any of his other career years. Like he's at 5 goals. His season high in his career is 6. So he's only one off of that already. And he's still got 58 games to play.
Yeah.
And on top of that, his time on ice a game, his highest ever was 19 minutes, and he's already averaging 20. So it's just increasing. And now he's skating like 24 minutes a night with all these injuries. So
like we said, past 14 games, he's averaged 24 and a half minutes a game.
Right.
So whatever it is. And I'll also throw out, you mentioned JJ Moser. That's a great name to throw out because I think he deserves an equal amount of kudos for this.
Oh yeah.
They have good chemistry together. And, sometimes, a defensive pair together is bigger than the sum of their parts.
Yep.
And, sometimes the games just click that work well. And JJ Moser, we know there's some offense in the tank there, but over the past 2 years since he got traded to the Tampa Bay Lightning, he's been more of a stay-at-home guy, and that's fine. And we mentioned Darren Raddysh. His game is offense, puck possession, moving the puck, kind of being that quarterback. Something about his game and Moser together just work.
Yeah.
And I think JJ Moser is a big part of this. And look, we said this is before Victor Hedman got hurt again, obviously, but we said when guys started coming back, one thing we wanted to see, let's keep that JJ Moser and Darren Raddysh pair together. They have good chemistry, and let's just see where it goes. And so far, John Cooper, even when Hedman was back for those couple of games, stayed true to that.
Yeah, 100%. And that's to throw out another pair is like the Lilleberg Dastu pair is really good too.
Yeah.
I think it's really elevated Lilleberg.
Does it hurt you to say something nice about Lilleberg?
No, you know what? I've gotten so used to it the last few episodes.
I'm waiting for the moment where that comes crashing down to earth.
Wait till he gets two penalties in a game.
Block off
I'll be back on the tree.
We just block off like three whole blocks for a Lilleberg rant. No, but Lilleberg's playing good. It's good to see. And it's really good to see because, Greg, we're going to need these guys to step up moving forward, including tonight against the New Jersey Devils. That's who the Lightning play. It's a big road game. There is going to be some playoff positioning on the line here, even though they're on opposite ends of the Eastern Division Conference line or division line. What do the Lightning need to do to win this game and start a brand new winning streak? We'll dive into some keys when we come back. Today's episode is brought to you by FanDuel. NFL Sundays move fast. One big play, and suddenly the entire game feels different. That's what makes live betting with FanDuel so exciting. You're not just watching the game, you're reacting to it in real time. With FanDuel, you can place bets as the action unfolds. Every drive, every momentum swing, every highlight moment, even every Emeka Ibuka drop. Live betting is best when the game starts to shift. Maybe a receiver gets hot, a defense tightens up, or the momentum flips after a turnover. FanDuel lets you jump into the moment with updated lines as they happen. The live spreads and money lines adjust instantly when there's a big play or a run. Player props update as guys heat up. So if Bucky Irving starts tearing it up on the ground, his props are going to go up. You can also bet on everything from next touchdown scores to the results of the current drive, point totals, and much, much more. FanDuel keeps you locked into every snap, every drive, every possibility. So if you want to jump right in the middle of the action this season, visit FanDuel.com and place your NFL live bets all season long. You can also go to FanDuel.com to download the app straight on your phone. FanDuel, the game moves fast, so can you. Welcome back to Locked on Lightning. Nick Morgan here alongside Greg Stephen. And before we get into tonight's preview, we have a fun announcement for those of you who haven't heard. You already live your team every day with Locked on Lightning, and now you can take it up a level and go ad-free. Join the Everydayer Club today and get Locked on Lightning with no interruption, members-only Discord access, and much more, all for just $5 a month or $50 a year. All you need to do is go to the Locked On Podcast website, or you can check the link below in the show notes to learn more. All right, Greg, let's talk about tonight's game between the Lightning and Devils taking place in New Jersey tonight. Obviously, Lightning coming off a big 6-1 win, which snapped their 4-game losing streak. We want to get a win streak together tonight. So what do you think are going to be some keys to this game?
It's a great question. I think goaltending is number one for me.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know that they've confirmed a starter quite yet. Tell me if I'm wrong, but I don't think so.
They have not, but I would be shocked if it's not JoJo.
I was going to say the same thing because we talked about this. He has been unbelievable. And 2 goals on 52 shots is perfect. You want that to continue. You want to let him continue to see ice. And also, this kind of starts training him in case, this is a really big issue for Vasi. So, it keeps rolling JoJo. But I think it's going to come down to goaltending because Markstrom's a great goalie, and I assume he starts against the Lightning. So JoJo has a test in front of him. That being said, both these teams are so banged up. They're both just going through it right now. And I think the key to this game outside of goaltending is going to be the Kucherov power. Like he's got to just be himself. And I think just him alone making some quality plays can win this game.
Yeah. God, you need a big Kucherov game tonight, don't we?
Yeah.
It was so good to see him get on that roll, and we want to see that momentum rolling. It is interesting that you mentioned the Devils' injuries, because obviously we talked a few weeks ago, Jack Hughes, being out from a dinner-related injury.
Right.
We also just found out today that Timo Meier is going to be out for a while due to a personal issue, so he's not going to be out there. You also have Evgeny Dodonov out. You have Brett Pesce out. Some other depth players like Jonathan Kovacevic is still out. Jack Hughes or Mark McLaughlin still out. Zach McEwen still out. So it's guys, they're doing the same thing as us. They're just
they are
having guys up and down the lineup out.
Yeah.
I do want to call out, Greg, you kind of predicted this exact, thing happening preseason, right? Where you were like, look, the Devils are a great team, a lot of good players. Not sure what happens when some players start getting hurt like they've been the past couple of years. And sure enough, it happened again with this year.
I mean, Jack Hughes is notoriously injured at this point, and it's funny because he's not even that old, but it happens every season. It does. Yeah. And I just thought it was so silly that the way he was injured this time, because it's like, did I jinx him this way? Yeah. But also, like you just listed so many injuries that they have. And outs. Obviously Meyer's not necessarily injured, but even Markstrom was out a little bit early on, and so was Hamilton, and they're obviously both back, but they have some injury prone guys, and when that happens, that's going to hurt your team. It's just how it works.
Yeah. Hey, look, if you're Jack Hughes, I understand, getting injured at dinner to spend more time with Tate McRae.
You know what? Just can't blame him for that,
Sure. To me, Greg, I think a key to this game is going to be, it's going to be face-offs.
Yeah.
For me. And look, we've said this over and over and over and over and over again. That's like the one part of the Lightning's game that's like bottom tier in the entire NHL, right? Is just the face-offs. And I think, if you have two teams banged up like this, you want to be the team that sets the tone first on a play. And I say this all the time. For some reason, the face-off stat has seemed to be deemed a little quote unquote overrated in some NHL statistics circles. And I vehemently disagree with that. I think it gives you your first opportunity to go out and set the tone. Obviously, hockey's a fast game. Momentum shifts a lot. Every turnover, every dump and chase, all that good stuff. I get it. But when you look at especially special teams, where these two teams are just very varied on special teams, both have really good power plays, both have a little bit of a weak penalty kill. Or the Devils have a little bit of a weak penalty kill. The Lightning are first, but it's the Devils have a hot power play is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, they do.
If you look at that, obviously, let's say there's a face-off in the defensive zone and you're the Tampa Bay Lightning. If you win that face-off and you dump the puck, that not only takes 10, 15 seconds off the power play, it makes them have to try to set up again, which means maybe forcing another dump and chase, maybe making them try to beat the setup in the neutral zone again, try to beat the trap, try to set up while guys are skating back. It just takes time, and it's something teams struggle with, even the Tampa Bay Lightning. I think if you can go out and win some key faceoffs, you're going to have a chance to control the special teams battle. And so that's what I'm looking forward to tonight. I want to see a good performance for the Lightning and the face-off circle. It's been very weird. Like sometimes they'll go on a run of 3 straight games with 60% wins, and then they'll just fall off to losing all but 30%.
Yep. Yeah. And kind of like you said, the special teams are a big part of this game. The Lightning power play has looked so poor lately. They're 25th in the league right now.
Yeah.
That needs to change. They got to start converting on those, at least a few of them. It's just been awful. But generally speaking, Devils are kind of in the same position as the Lightning. In the last 5, both these teams have only won their last game and dropped 4 in a row prior to that. The Devils actually dropped 5 in a row prior to that. So both teams are kind of looking for a big win tonight. And this is an important game for the East. So we need the big boys to step up. This is one of those days, and we need some JoJo Wall behavior.
Yeah, he's speaking of keys to the game. I mean, it's going to start with him. Can he keep the streak up?
Yeah.
Let's make some predictions, Greg, and possibly just ruin this game.
All right.
We'll see if the Lightning can cover the over/under and pick some goal scorers. Here goes nothing when we come back. Today's episode is brought to you by Monarch. The holidays, I don't know about you, but they're my favorite time of year, but I totally understand that they can get overwhelming fast with all the travel, all the gifts you have to buy, all the parties you have to go to, all the year-end expenses that you have to wrap up. It's really easy to lose track of your money this time of year. And that's exactly why Monarch has become such a game changer for me. If you want to keep your finances under control this holiday season, you need to be using Monarch. It was rated Wall Street Journal's best budgeting app of 2025. Monarch is an all-in-one personal finance tool that brings your entire financial life together in one clean, simple dashboard. Monarch was so easy for me to set up. All I did was link all of my accounts, everything from checking accounts, credit cards, investments, and within seconds, I got clear categorization of my spending. I created a holiday spending category, which has become a lifesaver for me. I just put in exactly what I wanted to spend on gifts, travel, all that good stuff. And anytime I buy something, anytime I go to a party, anytime I book that plane ticket back home, I see exactly what's left in my travel budget in real time and my holiday budget. Plus, it's a great tool for couples. There's shared dashboards, shared goals, and fewer wait. How much did we spend conversations? It is an all-in-one financial tool. So if you want to manage your finances better, here's a financial opportunity for you. Use code LOCKEDONNHL at monarch.com in your browser for half off your first year. Again, that's 50% off your first year at monarch.com with code LOCKEDONNHL. We are back on Locked on Lightning. Nick Morgan here alongside Greg Stephen. And Greg, here goes nothing, my friend. Let's make some picks and predictions for tonight's Devils Lightning game.
Why am I still allowed to do this?
You hit something the other night.
Yeah, I think I hit over.
Yeah. All right. We're going to keep the momentum going. Why not? Let's ride this gravy train, man. Over under tonight, 5.5. goals. How do you see that one going?
I'm taking the over. I mean, we already had 2 meetings between these teams and it's been 6+ every time. So I don't see why it'd be different, especially with JoJo and net. It's not Bassy. And Devils are banged up. I think this is going to be a high scoring game for both teams.
I agree with you. I agree with all the points you made. I'm still going to go the under on this one.
Okay.
So one of us is going to be right. And the simple reason is just that I think Markstrom has been playing a lot better over the past couple weeks than he did at the start of the year. We know Jonas Johansson has played really well. And I do think there is some chaos with so many people being out. I think there might be some chemistry here or there. And I know that the Lightning just put 6 on the Montreal Canadiens, who are a really good team. But I don't know. Like, I'm feeling under tonight. I think it's going to be maybe a lower scoring game than we think.
Nice. Okay. I like that because now one of us is
going to be right.
One of us has this.
Yeah, that's what we should have been hedging our bets all season.
Yeah, you're so
right.
How
we should have been handling this. Yeah. No, it is interesting. And like I said, I know what the past history between these two teams is, and you make excellent points about, just everything and the quality of these offenses. But I don't know. For some reason, the trends are just telling me to go low on this one with a little bit more of a low scoring game.
Totally fair.
All right, Greg. Who do you see scoring a goal for either team tonight?
I'm thinking Brandon Hagel. I think he's kind of cooled off the last 3 games. I think he's had no points. So it'd be nice to see him get on the score sheet again. Did he pick up a point in the Canadiens game? I don't think so.
I think he might have had one. No, Google
he had no points.
Everybody.
No points.
No points. Okay. But did skate about 17 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
So, 3 straight games without a point for Hagel. Cooling out a little bit. For some reason, FanDuel does not have his odds up right now. They're locked. Whatever that's about. I'm going to tell you that I think we're going to see another Darren Raddysh goal tonight.
Wow.
Why not? We talked about him earlier on the show. Scored 2 goals against Montreal. He's just looked so good from the blue line, sort of quarterbacking that offense. We talked about the Lightning having a really good power play and the Devils not really having a great penalty kill this season. I think maybe Darren Raddysh might, rip off a couple of point shots. I don't know. He's also really good at jumping into the play. So I'm going to go with Darren Raddysh goal. Why not? Let's keep the momentum going, Greg.
Heck yeah. I'm so about that. But I hope you don't reverse jinx him and now he cools off for the rest of the season.
And now after saying, is Darren Raddysh good enough to be the number 1 defenseman for the Tampa Bay Lightning? He just goes on an epic slider.
Yeah, it'd be unfortunate.
Yeah. All right. So those are some anytime goal scores. I'm gonna throw a little wild card at you here, Greg.
I'm excited.
Just give me somebody that you think is going to have a big impact on this game. Maybe an X factor, who we haven't mentioned yet.
Okay. I got a really, really, really spicy one for you.
Go for it.
Emil Lilleberg.
Let's go.
I'm feeling him. I don't know why. I think he's going to get a point tonight. I don't know what kind of point, but he's going to get one. And I think he's going to play some good defense. I don't think he's going to be in the box at all. Mm-hmm. And I'm feeling him. I think it's happening. And now he's going to get 20 minutes of penalties, break his leg
from the game. No, I love the Lilleberg call out. I think he's played really well. I think Dasto played really well. After I think maybe cooling off a little bit from sort of his high impact at the beginning of the year, but still playing really strong hockey. I have watched the Brendan Gallagher reverse hit like 5
I know, me too. Yeah, I love that clip.
Hours. I love what that line is doing. Greg, I'm going to go on the other side. It is a name we're all familiar with. And I'm going to say Andre Palat is going to be a player to watch for New Jersey. Yeah, our buddy, or our frenemy now in New Jersey. Yeah. And look, the only reason is that the Devils are really banged up. They're losing more guys again. And you have to look at somebody like Andre Palat to maybe step up as that veteran guy and play a little bit of a bigger role to sort of close that gap there that's caused by some missing guys. And how many times have we seen him do that in Tampa?
Oh yeah.
Like there's a couple of years where we saw him maybe start the season with sort of a more reduced supporting role just because of all the talent coming in. Injuries happen. Steven Stamkos gets hurt. Stuff doesn't, pan out exactly how you want. Andre Palat right there to step up and play a bigger role and lead the Lightning to some really good wins. Now he's in New Jersey, and I can see a situation in which he does that for the Devils. Obviously, really good two-way player. That's always something we've loved about his game in Tampa. I don't know, Greg. I'm worried that he's going to do his trademark Andre Palat step up and carry the load thing for the other team tonight.
It's certainly possible, especially with everyone that's out for them. Someone's got to do it. And he's kind of that guy that would, like you said, he did that in Tampa for many, many years. So yeah, I would not be shocked at all. If I had to pick a Devil myself, I think I'm going to go with Dawson Mercer. He's kind of had a big year for like what he is. And he's +8. He's got 21 points in 30 games. Best plus minus on their roster, actually, which is pretty impressive as a forward. And he's just a great center. So I think if someone's going to help them out, it's going to be him. And they're going to get that from him on the depth.
Yeah, somebody that I think the Devils have really been wanting to see kind of step up and elevate his role this season.
For sure.
It is a 7:00 puck drop, I believe, right? Yep.
It is.
In New Jersey, we will have a full recap coming up to you for tomorrow's show. Hey, before we go, fun thing. Obviously, everybody had their Spotify wraps up. If Locked On Lightning made your Spotify wrap, let us know. Post it on social media, and you can secure a free month of our brand new Everydayer Club. All you have to do is post it and tag our national Locked On Podcast Network account on any social platform. So X, Instagram, Twitter, wherever. I guess Twitter and X are the same thing now. TikTok, whatever. Anywhere you want to post, just tag it, drop us or we'll drop you a code, and you can be one of the first to join our Everydayer Club and get free ad-free show and exclusive access to the members only Discord channel. Also, make sure you guys are following us on social media. We're Locked On Lightning on Instagram, TikTok, pretty much wherever you scroll. And however you're listening to us, whether you're watching on YouTube or tuning in on your favorite podcasting platform, be sure to hit that subscribe button. Not only helps us out with numbers, it keeps you guys in the loop when we have brand new content for you. That's going to do it for us on today's Locked On Lightning. Thanks for making us your first listen of the day. Back with a new episode tomorrow. We'll see you then.